Wow, guys. What an interesting morning it is today for Manchester United. As you can tell, there's been lots of news all about the place. Dan Ashworth, our former director of football, sacked last night. Late in the night from a discussion with Omar Barada and the other executives at the club, and they've came to the arrangement that Dan Ashworth's services is no longer required at Manchester United. It's a very interesting situation, guys. What are your thoughts on this? Where do United go from here? Is this a shock to a lot of you? It is a shock to me as well. At the same time, I would admit, guys, I was never a fan. I did not like the fact that he was signed and the rumors was around him best in class. For me, it's one of those situations where I feel that we were a little bit too hyped on Dan Ashford. I think he came in with promise, but he was not best in class. And the end of the day is that Manchester United needs best in class. And the best in class does not mean that, he's just called best in class. Best in class means that they have been doing things on a high level consistency for the last, let's say, their career, 2, 3, 5 seasons. We have seen the players they've discovered, the talent that they've built, they've brought in. But it's one of those things. And for me, I look at it from the perspective that, yeah, Manchester United needs to do some things differently. We need to do what we have to do. And it's one of those things where Manchester United needs to get in and get the right steps put in. And it's one of those, for me, I look at it from the perspective that we have made a mistake. Whatever happened, happened. But now we have to work it out and do something differently. Because right now, there's going to be a big difference in how it works. We have no longer the services of Dan Ashworth. It's going to be a situation where we're going to have to do things differently. And to be fair, guys, what can I say? I just feel like, Manchester United needs to do things. It needs to work it out. We no longer have the support of Dan Ashworth. And guys, yes, I do agree that, it could have been done differently. Maybe it was not the right time to sack Dan Ashworth, or maybe it was. But the one thing I will say is, guys, we cannot dispute that there are mistakes that will happen. We cannot dispute that in the process of rebuilding a structure, there won't be people fired. We cannot, it's the same thing with the squad rebuild. I think it's normal, and no matter what we think, they've made a decision. And are just now, as fans, are going to have to wait to see what is done and who comes in next. Let's deep into the story a little bit, because we definitely need to get someone. We need to figure out if there's someone already being looked at, possibly to take over the role, and who that might be. Now, Manchester United sporting director Dan Ashworth has left the club according by mutual consent after spending only 5 months in the role. The 53-year-old started his role in July 1st, joining the club in an acrimonious circumstance from Newcastle after a period of gardening leave. We all know this. It was the talk of the summer. However, the club announced his departure this morning following a meeting at Old Trafford with Chief Executive Omar Barada shortly after United's 3-2 loss versus Nottingham Forest on Saturday. Manchester United released a brief club statement on Ashworth's exit and said Dan Ashworth will be leaving his role as sporting director of Manchester United by mutual agreement. We would like to thank Dan for his work and support during a transitional period for the club and wish him well for the future. Ashworth formerly worked as sporting director at Newcastle United, where he helped the club achieve Champions League qualification in his first full season at St James's Park, and had also previously worked at Brighton as a technical director for Football Association, working across England's senior men's and women's teams. Now, he has had that, but after protracted negotiations, he did become the Manchester United DOF, and he agreed, certain amount of signings this summer. There are reports that Jim Ratcliffe was not happy with the summer signings, and this was one of the reasons why there was issue. But at the same time, we have had our worst start in a league campaign since 1986-87 under Sir Alex Ferguson, with only 19 points earned from 15 matches after Sunday's defeat against Forest. Ashford was dismissed after former manager Eric Ten Hag was previously dismissed in October. The new head coach Ruben Amorim was appointed last month after joining from Sporting, and he's forming a new relationship as his only lasted a month after Ashworth's immediate departure. So what's happening next, guys? Manchester United are reportedly going to move the likes of Christian Vivell and and is Jason Wilcox into more executive senior roles. There are reports that Jason Wilcox may be stepping into the role of director of football, and Christopher Vivell will be securing his role as chief scouting advisor to the club. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Maybe this is a shift based on discussions behind the scenes or issues that they were having behind the scenes. But what I can say, guys, is that this is definitely has to be a decision that's going to take Manchester United forward, and another a timely distraction from you know the need to resolve ASAP. 100% Stephanie, it's untimely. I watched the goals conceded. You almost thought MU defenders were shepherding the ball across the line. Very weird. 100% Jack Reacher. Big up, bro. I'm liking the new block. Thank you so much. Guys, if you see my new ads for my shows and everything, the new layout, thank you to Joe Blackman for doing that. Big up, my brother. You really helped me out here, and I have to say thank you. I couldn't do it any better myself. Definitely couldn't. So you know what? Hats off to Joe for this, because that ad on that side, I think it's on this side. This one, yeah, it looks really cool. To be fair, really like it, to be honest. You know what I mean? Guys, this is the new show. These are all the shows that will be coming to you regularly, weekly. So, if you wonder what I'm doing and when I'm doing it, just look at the ad on the left side. It's going to be interesting. And guys, what are your thoughts? And I mean, I'm going to drop the link in the comments for anyone who wants to come in and have their say. Of course, Joe, if you want to come in and have your say, I know you were on the stream earlier talking about it, but I wasn't privy to the entire stream, so it would be nice to hear your opinion on it. You know what I mean? I'm looking at it from the perspective that, of course, some people might be, surprised. I am actually surprised, even though I didn't like Dan Ashworth. I'm surprised that this is happening this morning. At the end of the day, Darko, we weren't having any crises off the field. All our crisis was on the field for once in a while. Big up, bro. And right now, I can say I'm a bit indifferent about it because, it's like we're creating a problem here. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that we, the club, are creating a problem, but the decision creates now a problem because there's now going to be lots of speculation about whether he was having disputes with the new manager, whether it was his responsibility for keeping Ten Hag or not, and who is right, who is wrong. No one knows for sure. You know what I mean? At least none of us do, actually. But what I can say is that whatever we need to do, the decisions need to be made fast. The announcements need to be here ASAP, and we need to focus on football because all of this does not help us win. Just remember that, guys. It might impact our winning in years to come, but a director of football does not make us win on the pitch this season. The players who are on the pitch performing, their performances, their belief in the system, that is what's going to win us games in this current moment. So we need to be focused, guys. If it's one thing we need to do right now is focus on the fact that we need to win games. And we might not win games, but we shouldn't be losing some of the games that we're losing. Of course, yesterday we had some ridiculous stats in the game. 72% possession, 525 passes, you know, 322 passes completed, and Nottingham Forest had 100 and something passes completed and 200 and something passes overall. 28% possession, but the three chances they had on goal was the three shots that took us out of the game. Big up to Ricka Mank in the building. I hope you're well, buddy. What's up?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Bro, I'm having an interesting morning, bro. I'm thinking like darker right now. This is distracting moments. You know what I mean? Like I know Dan Ashford sacking has some importance. He is the director of football, but at the same time, when I look at it prospectively as a Manchester United fan, it does not impact the performances on the pitch. At least not right now. What are you saying?
Well, you know what? Was I surprised? Well, was I shocked?
Yes. Was I surprised? No, because I mean, think about this. They brought in Barada, but then before Omar Barada even started, they already had Dan Ashworth. So my thing is, as a CEO, Omar Barada has the right to choose his own people. And maybe he's looking at Dan Ashworth thinking, man, I don't know what you're doing. So you never know, because I know Sir Jim is not going to come out and make a unilateral decision to fire Dan Ashworth unless Omar Barada and all these people were in on it. So I didn't think Dan Ashworth was the best in class, but I also understood why they wanted him. But I thought there were other, better candidates
Me too.
uh, than Ashworth. Now I was watching Mick Ruby this morning, and he was thinking maybe Tixi Begiristan, the guy at Manchester City, is
Mm-hmm.
available now. So maybe
Tiki.
Omar Barada is looking at Tixi. And what was his name? Tiki or Tixi?
It's pronounced Tiki.
Tiki. Okay. So maybe Omar Barada is looking at this guy and saying, well, you know what? I think I could work better with this guy than Ashworth. But I'm not surprised. And for those people who are doing Ten Hag out, it's the players. We've all, it's like you're watching the same movie, but different characters, but you all know what the outcome is. And it's funny how, see, this time around, we can't say it's Amorim because everybody knows Amorim is a good manager. Um, so, man, this is Manchester United, man. For me, I look at Amorim and I said to, and I said, in my head, I'm thinking, for me right now, he has two decisions. He can go with the same players and die and fall on his sword, or start playing the youth. Because I guarantee you, most Manchester United fans will put up with a couple of losses if you are playing the youth, because we all know there's no future in that team. Mason Mount
Mm-hmm.
has to go. Bruno Fernandes should never have been given a new contract. He has to go. Maguire, Lindelof, Casemiro, Ericsson, Marcus Rashford, basically the whole team. But like you only have five or four people: Ahmad, Euro, probably maybe Martinez. I'm not too convinced with Delit. Um, I don't know. I This club is a mess. It's a really mess. It's a Oh my goodness, it's a mess, man. My God.
Brother, you don't have to tell me, bro. Like, I look at it from the perspective that, you know, it's a work in progress, no matter where you look at it. Big up to Vegeta in the building, you know what I mean? This, yeah, bro. I mean, look at it like
Hmm.
this, guys. I think, I like Bots. Ten Hag was a good manager as well when we appointed him. Let's not rewrite history. Forget Ten Hag. Push him away. He
Yeah.
already sacked. No matter if you back him or you didn't like him, we over with that now. We have a new manager here, Amarim. The man coming here with a record quite similar. Also, he has that personality that we as the fans could now determine the player should not have a problem. He's technically sound, tactically superior to most, and he has that personality that would welcome and give the players the arm around the shoulder that they would need. And we could understand his views. He expresses himself well. So it's a situation now where all eyes and focus has to be on the players. And whether Dan Ashwood made a blunder this summer in some of his signings or whatnot, that's up to them for that decision that they made. And as long as they make any decision unilaterally as a group in the structure, the way a structure should, I don't have no problems. My problem's focusing on the player performances on the pitch because that's what winning us games. All the stuff off the pitch is cool. Big up to Vegeta in the building. But at the same time, why stress about stuff that we can't control? Stress about stuff that actually important, that actually makes something of the team, in the sense that they make us better. It helps us win games week in, week out. Not focus on the stuff that just gonna be like, hey, this this is a new story. I mean, Dan Ashwood getting sacked anymore and
You
not
see,
stopping us playing on Wednesday. You know what I mean?
Mm, mm. What's up, Mark?
yeah.
What's up?
Big up,
I mean,
bro.
see, this is why some of us wanted Sheikh Yassim, because it would have meant you clear everything out. you clear everything. Because now, you know, I see a lot of similarities between Amorim and Ten Hag. Because when Ten Hag started, he was very honest with the fans. He would say things like, "Oh man, this guy is very refreshing, right?" This is how they all start out. Because now we all know the pattern. They come in, they are refreshing, they do this, and everybody's in love. And then guess what? Everything starts tanking. My thing is, you bring in a manager. Look at the profile of managers we bring in. Ten Hag, Amorim. These are managers who are used to playing with youth. They don't have any big name players in the squads they've built. And then they come to Manchester United. We have Casemiro. We have all these big names. So we are getting these managers, and then we are putting them in situations they've never been in before, and then we expect them to swim up. Um, I think for me, it's time for a clear out. I mean, Mark, what do you think? For me, it's time for a clear out. I think they should clear everybody out. They should clear everybody out. Just clear them out. Um, just let them go because if those players are still here, it's going to be the same shit. Excuse my French.
Different day.
Different day. At this point, there's two forks in the road. Clear everybody out. I'll go with the same direction. Now, I hope Ineos didn't bring Amorim to get, quote unquote, get the best out of these players because the best they could do was third and not Ten Hag. There's nothing else they could do. So
I mean,
the
I don't know.
juice
I
has
see it
already
any
been
other way.
squeezed, man.
I
Ah,
mean, well, I
eh,
agree with you. I know Vegeta
they,
will
they,
have
they
his
have to let them
opinion
go.
as well. I'd like to hear what Vegeta thinks as well. I do agree with that statement. I think everybody. The only thing I would say is I would be a little bit more specific and say everybody who has been at the club, who's over 24 and been here more than 4 seasons, get rid everything in the team, everything.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Whether that
yeah.
means Dallo and all, bro, get rid. Bruno, Rashford,
Yeah,
sure, get
Dallo is
rid.
okay. Dallo, he's okay. Get
No,
rid
no,
of all of them.
I just
Dallo,
saying, you know what I mean? I just saying, I just want to put it unilateral because I don't want anybody to say I'm showing any favoritism to any one player. So I say all the youths under
but
24 and who been here for less than 4 or 5 seasons, you could stay. The rest, go.
so that means Mason Mount can stay.
I guess he.
No,
I mean, I don't really
no,
want him to
no, no,
stay, but
no, no,
I'm
no.
trying to have some balance now, bro. I don't want to, you know what I
You
mean?
see,
Because like Ricardo has joined us since Amarim came. He's from Portugal. I believe if I could remember correctly, he's the FC Porto fan. I believe he's the FC Porto fan, but he likes Amarim and his style of football. He's watched United, and for me, if I'm getting that correct, I think I agree with him. Most of the players not at the level that United need, and it will still take time to develop some who might get to that level, and for others to bring in others, and they also need to give a lot of effort, and we need some luck in it too. So Vegeta, I
yo,
said the news. You hear the news. What you saying to yourself
what's
this
up,
one?
Mark?
Big
Nah,
up,
nah,
bro.
shout out to you, bro. I've just been listening to you guys, and I think us as fans also we need to be careful of how we say things because I think sometimes we say things, and then when somebody dissects the thing, then we go, "Oh, okay, hold up, I didn't mean that specifically." You know what I'm saying? Because there is what we want, and then there's the reality of how things can do, irrespective of which football club it is, right? So the one thing I will say is that there's two news we got, right? We heard that this guy's fired, and then we heard that there was beef because this guy wanted to bring Southgate in. I don't know how true that is, bro. But if that's the case, bro, even I would have given him a bombastic side eye to say, "Yo, bro, you're angry that we're keeping Ten Hag because you wanted Southgate? Wait, you're angry because we wanted to go with Amr? What's wrong with you, bro?"
Bro, no, that's why I didn't mention that part of Vegeta because I don't want to believe that because in my mind, I cannot see Southgate as a manager in any club. I wouldn't wish that on any club in the Premier League. Far less
Nah,
to wish
bro,
it
but
on
I
United. So
can,
I
bro.
just
I can.
leaving it there.
I can. You know why, Mark, bro? Remember when we were looking at managers besides Ten Hag? This guy's name was there, and we were like, "Surely not, bro. Who in that boardroom is saying this, bro?" And the fact that Southgate's name came out multiple times, there must be some truth to it, bro. Well, how true it is, we don't know. So I just think it was probably a, a clash of ideas. And remember, bro, Wilcox, Omar brother, and this guy come from different walks of schools of football. I think Wilcox and Omar both were at City at some stage. They're different from this guy who comes
Yeah.
from Brexit football school of thought. You understand? So that's why I can, in my mind, it makes sense when I look at the pieces that are on the table to say this puzzle piece never made sense with these guys to begin with, because they are of a different ilk and they want different things from. That's why when this crackhead said Southgate, these guys said, "Hey, Jim, bro, your friend is not serious." This guy really say Southgate. I thought this
Bro,
guy was joking, you know. He's
you
angry
know,
at us, bro.
this is the thing that struck out to me, bro, and this is why I for the life of me, I didn't understand why we didn't get the Dowden dude, or we didn't get Paul Mitchell, because when I look at Omar Barada's his background and what he's done, when I look at Jim Watkins, I mean Jason Wilcox, is the same. These guys in from a school of everyone international. You who no matter where you from, you could play. We like you. Come. We're bringing it to the situation. But but we know Barada, we know Ashworth had this English centric way of doing his things. Now, nothing's wrong with that. But in reality, I don't think we are a football club that allows for them to be that centric anymore. Now, we are English football club, but if we look at all the top clubs in the English football league currently, I
Bro,
mean,
there's
they
more
all
foreign
have a
talent
large
in this damn group.
representation of who starts for them week in, week out, a large representation. And
Yeah,
that,
bro. That's why it didn't make sense, bro, that they brought this crackhead with them into this whole thing, bro. So I just think, you know what it is, bro? I just feel like Sir Jim and this guy are homies, and he's just like, "Hey, yo, I got a job for you, bro." That's what I think. I don't know. That's probably what happened, bro. You know when you say the job for the boys, I think that's what happened here with this Dan guy. But with the players thing, what I said on one of our group chats was, it's nice to see them being ruthless, but I will only believe it when I see it in the summer. And what I mean by that is, too long, certain people have been untouchable in our squad. I don't really care about this Dan Ashworth thing. Sort that thing out. That's the bigger picture. What I wanna, if you wanna prove to me that you are ruthless, we move swiftly. By January, I want to hear Rashford is on the transfer list to show me you're serious.
Yeah.
If you are serious, put Rashford on the transfer. January already. Let other clubs know this guy is available now. You can come talk to us. I don't care how injured that guy is. If you have to tear up the contract for him to leave, do it. Then I'll know you're serious.
everyone above 25 or 25 and over, I would just put them on the transfer list just because. Not Mazarari and not Delete. I would take those two and pull them to the side. But you see, everybody else, I don't, whether or not they go and be here or not, I still put you on the transfer list just because.
Bro, Mark,
I don't even care
about I don't even care about the age, bro. If
I want to see performances, bro. And bro, if you feel like your job on the line, you will perform. It's just reality.
Yeah. You know why I don't care about the age is because we always say for the manager it's a results-based game, right? Why can't it be results-based or performance-based for the players as well? So it doesn't matter, bro. Like you're saying, Maz doesn't fall in the age category, but he's performing. Keep him. He's contributing positively for us. Now, that being said, for me, it's not realistic to say we're going to get rid of 11 players, right, in one summer. I've never seen a club do it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's more so who you clear out in the immediate summer. That for me is what matters. Because we can't keep saying because Rashford just got a new deal, blah, blah, blah. No, bro, don't give a damn, bro. Make a plan, bro. Get rid of this guy, bro. This man don't look like he wants to be here, bro. What does it take a new babes for this guy to score goals? What kind of nonsense is that, bro?
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
Omo.
And you know what? If the
Go ahead, Rick. Finish the statement and then I'll ask him what I was going to ask him.
you know what? And if these players, I think we should force them out. One of the ways to force somebody out is to bring in an academy player who can play better than him or who can make strides better than him. So Rashford, he's not an academy player anymore. He's been here for 10 years. Out of those 10 years, he's only given about 2.5 good seasons. Why are we still paying him? He has to go. And they have to find ways of selling these players. They're going to take a loss ultimately. So they might take a loss right now because Nobody's going to buy him for 50 million, 60 million. No, just take a loss, just let him go. Somebody else will take his wages, bring somebody else in. Some of them have to go. They really have to go because they have no football intelligence. Oh my god.
Big
They don't
up,
even have the
bro.
desire, bro. Some of these guys
Mhm.
act like we owe them something, bro. I don't like that.
Bro, Olmo, tell me what your thoughts are, bro, because I know
Hear
and you
ye,
know.
hear ye. Listen, this man, I read the athletic report, and they said this man wanted to bring a British manager. I'm like, yo, what is this man like? That was the argument. The argument was about a British manager. It's the reason why Ten Hag stayed extra. I'm like, bro, this man, like, you're not on the same page with everybody else. At least you'd be like, okay, everybody want this type of manager. I want British. Okay, I will go with the majority. He said, nah, we're gonna fight 2-0. It's when they hired Ruben Amron that he felt like everybody was against him. Is what they said the electric reports. I'm like, get this man out of here. But that's about that because they know me. I don't care much about the back room. Listen, some players must go. And again, you could see that the manager, Ruben Amron, he's sticking to his system, and some manager are being phased out. Ericsson has only played versus Ipswich.
Yeah,
Anthony has started one game and come on the bench twice.
that's fine though. We
Rashford has,
need back. We
Rashford
need we
has
need
only
a we
played.
need a squad though. So Anthony not performing well, that's totally fine with me. I think unless you, I
No,
think
no, no, no. I'm just saying that players are getting phased out. Like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
currently getting. Who was Casemiro hasn't come on for the past two games. Hasn't started the last two games. Rashford has only played 90 minutes twice. Bruno has got subbed up back-to-back games. Listen, listen, Ruben. It seems like some players are getting phased out that they're not gonna work. That they're not gonna work. I know players that I'm looking at them like you are not going to work. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Yes, it's a lost cause. Rashford, Garnacho, Bruno, Dallo, you're lost cause.
Ganacho. I do.
Yes, I did stutter.
Bro. I think I don't want to. I don't want it. This is where I want to stop you there. But
It's,
let me ask Fix
listen,
what he
listen,
thinks, and
listen,
we're going to
listen,
that part of the debate
listen.
after. Hold on.
I'm not done yet. I have a list of players: Onana,
All
Lisandro
right, but let me do
Martinez,
the list of
Delete.
players
Like,
debate
listen.
after. Let me finish
Okay,
on Dan
okay,
Ashworth,
we
right?
do. Okay, we do that another day. We do that another day.
No, we
I'm
could do
just
it right
saying.
after, bro, because we will talk about some players that we think might, could come in,
Okay,
might could come in
okay.
January
Because
or the summer.
when I see Ruben Amorim's system, I'm like, okay, you can do something. You can do something. I'm looking at some players. I'm like, the players FC, people that are player FC, the Amarim is coming for you.
Bro,
Amarim is
that's
coming
what
for
we want
player
to
FC.
see. It have no play
You
FC. It
people
have Man
you
United
people
FC, bro.
you no. There are some people, right? They're like, oh, this player must play. This player, blah blah blah. Ruben is coming after everybody.
Well,
Ruben is
I know
coming
you
after
guys never
every
hear that
player.
from me because for me, I am all about whoever played well, give them
Your
minutes.
favorite player, Ruben is coming after them,
Bro,
and I'm so happy.
thankfully, finally, Fix. Talk to me, bro. The sack down our throat. We tell man them in the summer. We know we tell man in the summer we didn't want this guy. But tell me, listen.
Happy Sunday, everyone.
Big up Fix.
Big up.
Um, I I kind of feel happy, you know, because I think the room was divided, some for some for against. So, if this one is going to bring everybody together in terms of the back room and the board, is I'm in for it, you know. So, but it's just that I can't understand the 5 months and you sack him and all that, and we waited for him for long. The thing kind of wanted to affect our summer somehow and all that, you know. But at the last we get him, and 5 months later, well, he's gone, you know. So I think maybe Omar Barada is looking at going back to Sporting and getting another person also. So I don't know. But for our players, honestly, I think a lot of you have said my mind already. Starting from Rashford, we can see if they are not putting the effort. Just imagine Odegaard. Odegaard hold you to the extent that you gave him a corner when he's not even pressuring you or something. You know, and by the end of the day, we lost that game. So our manager also wants have to watch it, because I feel like during that second half, and I need this guy to leave this Man United. To be honest with you, you see Dalo, this
Mm-hmm.
water dispenser, hot and cold. I don't want that thing in my club. Water dispenser, hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. I don't want it. No consistency. This guy since last season has been dealing with us, but I don't know why he kept on, getting into the match day squad. I think in my prediction, lineup predictions, I kick him out, and Mazraoui was there, but the manager changed it. You know, so I think the thing is affecting us a whole lot, considering three set pieces in 2 games. And guy, I'm tired, man. Tired for these
Bro,
players.
those stress, guys, those stress. Listen, I know everyone have a list of players that they would like to see moved on. They don't think it's good enough for Man United. Even I have a list. You know what I mean? I just
Bro,
think that what I would say
bro,
now,
bro,
Omo Fields, I want to hear what you had to say about this Dan
bro,
Ashworth situation too.
bro. If Chelsea
Mm.
can
Uh,
sack all the
Hello, guys.
players,
Can you hear me?
we can do it.
Yeah, we can hear you, Omo. Just now, let's fix your
Yeah,
issue real quick
good,
there.
good, good to see all of you talking about United this morning. And I think for me, I think everybody's talking about players leaving and this, that, the blame game and every other thing. I just felt that after yesterday's lost, definitely there must be a blame game. Something must happen. There must be a big news this morning. And suddenly, the first thing I saw when I switched on my phone was a news from Daily Mail, and Danash was sacked. Then United have not confirmed it, but secondly, the club confirmed it, and I knew that something big was coming this morning. I don't think Dan Ashworth and the current manager are in the same phase. That's just the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Ashworth and the current manager are not in the same phase. They don't. I don't even believe that they agree on some certain things going forward with the way the players should be recruited and players should be brought into the team, and that is where the pain is. And to be frank, if you look at the report very well, you will even know that Jim Ratcliffe had his hand 100% on the sacking of Dan Ashworth after 5 months he was employed. So I just think that Ineos want to be ruthless. Next season, the summer will be they will be ruthless. Players are leaving whether we like it or not. Whether we are Players FC, whether we are United FC, players will leave that club. And I think Ineos have to invest. They don't have the money. They have to go and look for the money. They have to invest one billion, £1 million, 1 billion pounds in that club next summer. 1 billion pounds, sorry, on players, whether they like it or not. We need fresh legs. We need fresh ideas. We need new players. Chelsea have done it before. We can do
Bro,
it. We have the
we
money,
cannot do it,
whether we
bro.
like it or
We
not.
cannot. We
So I
cannot.
think that's my opinion. Players have to leave. It is
Yeah, but
Rashford. It
that
is
one
Garnacho.
billion,
No,
that
no,
one
that no,
billion
that
or
does
more.
it. But you know,
Like I
but,
hear
but,
you
but we
on the
all know it.
revamp, but here what going
No,
on?
but
What
we
we
all
need
know it
to
that
do,
players have to leave the club.
yeah, players have
The
to leave.
spirit
But
is
here what
the
going on,
spirit
right?
is no longer there. Some
The
players are not
spirit
even
was
the same.
never
Okay,
there
look
in
at the
some of
second.
these
Look,
players. I don't know what man see. But let me tell you something, bro. Some of these
yeah,
players, there was never it. Never had it. Never was to be it, right? And I don't know about man them, but if you go back and look at all the Manchester United great teams that there was, there's edgy characters. Men who do business, who don't really care
yeah,
about certain
but those guys
standards.
come to the party to play.
Big up recommend.
Mark. But these guys they don't come to the party to play. They don't come.
Well, right, but you
We are
see,
not.
the guys who come to the party to play, there's not always the best characters. You can look at
So
the likes of,
how
look at
mest
Georgie, look
characters do you
Georgie
have in that
Best, a
team, Mark?
legend, but he wasn't the most, he wasn't the most, I would say, role model type character. He was a great
But
footballer.
he delivers week
But
in, week in out. He delivers even when
exactly,
we expect him to
right?
deliver.
And this is where we all would agree on footballing wise. We want to see delivery and performance on the pitch. We don't want to hear about it.
Exactly.
You understand? You see all
Exactly. And I
these
agree with you.
top footballers that they have right now. For me, are being real, so honest and real. I fed up. See all these
Okay,
brothers
see,
saying
let me ask you
sorry,
one
say sorry,
question. Let
but
me just ask you
tell me
one
sorry on
question.
the pitch.
One question before I run out, please. Okay, you remember this the top teams are focused on build with the likes of Nani, Anderson, with the likes of Ronaldo. See, someone once told me that the whole mark of Sir Alex Ferguson is to bring in players. For me, the likes of Anderson, Nani were just average players, but he made them superstar. He made them superstar, and they delivered week in, week out. How many of these players? See, this generation of players that we have, they are anti-managers. When the managers don't pat their back, what they do is that they go against the managers, and it has to stop in United. That's
brother.
just it for me. Thank you so
The
much.
only person, big up Olmo. We we really encourage this, guys, because you see, the moment this is just my honest opinion, and we could like players and stuff, that's cool. But the moment you start telling a player who hasn't won a Premier League title for United that he is right and the manager is wrong, we falling down. We going down the wrong path. And I've been so real and honest. I rather the manager be sacked and be responsible for wins and losses, right? Than have to say, well, the player's responsible. You know why? Because then the players will be doing everything the manager said and giving the best of themselves on the pitch. We don't buy players and spend 60 million because we like them. We buy them because of the talent and ingenuity and creativity that they bring, that they shown at the club that it was as previously. And when they come to United and they don't display these things, it's their fault more than the manager. 100%. I will never say it otherwise. And the reason why I will always say it like that is because, you know, we could all say, Rich, the link in the chat, bro, if you want to jump in and have your say, bro. Come in, have your
But
say, bro.
but
I
you know
just
why,
think that,
Mark?
I know, huh?
You know why though? For the longest time, this club has been a social media club, bro. Because a lot of these guys come to and all they see is I'm gonna get followers, bro. Because all you see from these damn football players when they come in is post this, post that. I'm sorry, I'm crying, I'm being bullied. New merchandise, bro. These
New
guys deliver
merchandise,
everywhere. These guys deliver everywhere, but on the pitch, bro. They delivering
bro.
babies, they starting families, but they can't deliver titles, bro. Like I'm tired of these guys are influencers, bro. And when I say this, people were laughing, bro. I said, no, bro, pay attention. These guys have put out more statements than they've scored goals and assists in their careers. I'm tired of that nonsense, bro.
Telling you, bro. And this is the thing why it's been mad, bro. And this is why you see recently, I know a lot of fans think I dislike Amad Diallo, but I don't dislike the young brother. I actually want to see him become very successful. But for me, when I look at some of the talent that we had seen in previous United squads, young talent, same age, deliver for Man United. We can't now say hype a player who's not at that level, like if he's better. No, I understand he's the best we have in most people's eyes. But realistically, this ideology that we have to, hype a player to a super status and he has to start when he not winning us every game week in, week out, even when he starts. You know what I mean? It kind of takes away from the allure for that player to have to work hard every game. And I don't want any of these players to grow a big head because a lot of these players start to get complacent when we start to hype them. And the biggest thing for me is that these players need to stop getting these big heads because these big heads take away from the footballing talent, and some of them have lots of bags of footballing talent. Marcus Rashford is one. People think I hate the guy. He has so much talent and ability, but does not deliver. And when he does, it's a purple patch. There's no
Mark,
consistency.
Mark, I even think that Rashford is looking into the social media a lot because every now and then he's like his mental health, being bullied, people are talking, or you don't mind all those kind of things, you know. So you just go get into the pitch and do the business. So for I concur with you I concur with you on Ahmad, what you said about Ahmad. When the player have not done anything, you don't need to hype him. Let him do it, and everybody will authorize him. He has been doing well since he gets into the squad, but it's nothing out of ordinary, that he's doing. Other young players in the league are also doing it. Don't you see what Bob was doing in Man City before he got injured? Is he not a young player? Do you hear anything, any of Man City player or Guardiola hyping him above the roof? You know. So you do your job. First of all, you are a football player. You do your job. Then you go. You aim that greatness. You aim it for people to idolize you. Not when you have not done anything. Then people will start saying, "He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that." You know.
See this statement here from Rich. 100% believe in this, bro. 100%. You see, this the problem is we move on players and replace them with worse players.
I'm so glad
And
somebody did this, bro, because
brother,
people were saying, "Oh, what's it? Fred and McTominay was so bad." I'm like, guys, have you seen our midfield? Did it get better? Let's be honest. Did it get better? We said those guys are crap, and we made our midfield worse. How? I don't understand how.
Two of them, they had intensity. It's just that they are not composed. They don't have composure on the ball. They have intensity. I can bet you that if any of those players are in the team now, they will be getting a start because there is the intensity is there, and this manager lost a lot of intensity. For anyone to survive.
and
So
like I would say it like this, guys. Look at it like this, right? I feel like I love our young players. I just watch the youth every day, week in, week out. You see, if you're in the group, if you're in the WhatsApp group, guys, you would see I would always post when the youth teams, they have games every week. I'll post the games, the starting lineups, the scores, these things, because for me, that's where our talent coming from. I want the team to be rebuilt. But we have enough talent in this academy over the last couple of seasons that we could afford to do it on a budget. We could bring in an experienced striker that we need to buy. We could bring in an experienced left back that we need to buy. But the rest of the players we could fill with youngsters from in the squad, from in the youth team. Because realistically, we started this project is a work in progress. We have a manager who are accustomed working with young players. Why not give him some young, fresh players who have a point to prove? You know what I mean? They have the talent, they have the ability, they have the energy, and they have the quality. It's just they need development. And I think we as fans could get behind that. We could move on players who not performing well, cancel contracts, and deal with the fallout from that if we take a
Mark,
shift into dipping into the academy.
I want to ask, is there any positives you see in Malaysia coming back from this 2 years injury, and
Hundred,
especially
100%, 100%. I see a lot of positives, and especially, if you want me to explain to the positive, I think in the game that he conceded, the two goals, I saw the most positive that I've seen. Because to be fair, he started the first 20 minutes very shaky, a little bit afraid. He's dealing with the mentality that he don't want to put his foot there or put his body on the line. But after conceding the second goal, when he got outpaced, he looked down and he looked up. He shook his head, and after that, his play improved. He was more and more physical with every combative move that he make. He was bombing forward even more. He was making more risky tackles. He got even more physical till he got a yellow card in the game in the first half. And I think this is very, very positive because this shows that he's getting over the
Mark,
injury. You know?
Mark, I want to
Yo,
say what I see in this Amorim formation. I feel like we are more balanced when we have a left back, like natural left back, because the two games I saw Malaysia starting, our balance was clear enough than when we have Dalo in that place. So we created more. We look so balanced, even in our shapes and all that, and that allow what is it called um Diallo, to have more space there because instead of Ganacho to be the one hogging the line, it's Malaysia that is doing it. I don't know if you get it in that first edition. So it's Malaysia that is doing it, and there will be a space for you to get in a cross, crossing naturally. That Dalo that will go and come back to cross or try to use the left foot, and the defender will cut it out. You know.
It's just a simple thing. Or some players don't fit the system. Dalo does
Mm-hmm.
not fit the system. Bruno does
Yes,
not fit the system. Ganacho and Rashford do not fit the system. They don't fit the system. Anytime they play in the system,
and
they
that's
will
the
fail.
beauty, and
yeah,
that's
but
the
I
beauty
don't
of
think
the
Garnacho don't
in
fit
the
the system. I think that
He
Garnacho
doesn't
need
fit
to
the system.
develop.
He don't.
I think he needs to develop. Hear more on it because, like,
Okay.
if you look at some of the players that play at Sporting, they're Garnacho like their left-sided attacker is Garnacho esque. The difference with him is he had the experience level to know when
and
to
that is why
pass
and
and
that
when
is
to
why
attack. So I
that
He
just
is
does.
why
think
he's
that
starting ahead of that's why he's
He
starting ahead of Rashford and the rest.
yeah, I
The
he
mean,
manager,
I think he young. I think he could get time, and players develop at different
you know, you know,
speeds, different
the
times.
manager wants
I don't believe so. I don't believe
I
so
mean,
because I see this
I
space.
agree. I don't disagree. I just saying I disagree with you. I'm not saying that your opinion is wrong.
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
saying I disagree in that regard because,
To my
like,
explanation, he doesn't fit the system at all. Because I see the way he play. I see the way left back Dalo wants to move. I'm like, bro, both of you guys are just
But Dallo
crossing
is
each
not a
other
left
off.
back, so is that's our
No
next thing.
left wing, no left wing back. It doesn't matter. Dalo's not a right wing back. Now look at him.
I
So
mean, Dallo
it
is a
doesn't.
better right wing back than you would give him credit for. I mean, he played it at AC Milan for all season and they won the Scudetto, I think, or that came second or something like that. So
No, Mark,
he
you're going
played
too
in a
far. You're
back
going.
three at Milan, brother, for a whole season
No,
and they came
Mark,
second.
I don't care about what they did in their past.
No, but
Because
I'm just
again,
saying because listen, we all will have different opinions on some players. Far less for me, I would say that he's a different type of winger to Ahmad Diallo. So I wouldn't
yeah,
really compare Garnacho to Ahmad.
but I'm,
And to be fair, I still think Ahmad have a lot of improvement to make before he becomes that starting right wing back. Because usually in the first half he's nowhere. He's only really coming to the game in the second half. So
he
maybe
only came
coming
to
on as
the,
a substitute is best for him.
Ahmad
I
didn't
just
come
being
into the game.
honest, bro. I just
Yeah,
being honest over the better games that I've seen from him, bro. So it's not
okay,
me trying to say
that
that
was
he's not good or not. I'm just saying that from in
yeah,
some moments I
yes,
feel
yeah,
like he's triggered differently. Like in some games he's come alive early, some games he's come alive from the second half, and
yeah,
that does not take
Mark, you're
away from
saying
his
what you
ability
see.
or his talent,
Yeah,
bro. That doesn't take away from that. That just says
Mark,
that
you're,
more
Mark,
speaks to his
you're
development.
saying what you see. I agree with you, but my thing is when certain players don't fit this system, you go easily see the flaws in others. Like me,
Exactly.
I see Amad Diallo, I see Bruno Fernandez on the pitch, I see Marcus Rashford. I'm like, oh, you cannot flourish. You cannot flourish. That's how I see. I see Hoyland on the pitch. You're not needed here, sir. You do not
I
fit the
wouldn't say
system.
that, bro, because Hoyland is at his age is
Mark,
10 times
it's
better
not
than
an
Gyökeres
argument.
ever was.
Mark, it's not
So
an argument. You could say you don't see that. I see that he doesn't
no,
fit the
I know.
system.
I just voicing my disagreement. Don't
No,
get me
for
wrong.
me,
I'm
for
not saying
me,
your opinion is wrong. I'm just voicing my disagreement.
for
Okay,
me,
okay.
for me, low key, bro, I couldn't give a damn about people's ages. You know what the beauty of this manager playing system is? It's either you fit or you don't fit, bro.
Exactly.
We're
Exactly.
not
People
doing
will.
we're not
You
doing this whole dance of we need to play around these players. No, bro. You either work
Look, no,
you,
or
man,
you don't work.
you see
boys.
players like yo, they play, like this one. The beauty of the manager rotating is like you see that oh, you are failing yourself. You're given this chance and you fumbled it. It's not that the chance wasn't given to you. The chance is given to you and you fumbled it. That's okay. We move on. We know you don't
I
fit the
don't
system
care.
because
On
you
my
fumbled. You can't say they didn't
I
on
give you
my
the
think
thought,
they're a
look,
chance.
little bit too finite when you don't fit the system part, but I understand where you're coming from. They get chances, and it's up to them to
my
take the chances.
my thing is
Big up, Ray.
big up in yeah, man. From last from yesterday's game, my opinion is everybody's up for sale. Everybody is up for sale who don't play good because
Uh-huh.
yesterday was embarrassing. I mean, I went on the show with Mark, man. I was chatting and we actually were happy and we actually thought they will actually show up and the same old nonsense uh, we see all the time. So for me now, I don't care who it is. You if you starting in that lineup and you don't play good, you're up for sale. And I don't care if
Thank
you age, whatever, because these men are breaking records again. This is a new manager, and we've broken another record. 30 years, Forest hasn't come and beaten us at home, and
We
yet
haven't got a new manager bounce yet.
Exactly.
you won't get
We
that
won't.
because these guys are their
For
heads are gone.
for me, the
You
season's
know
a
what I mean?
wash until January. I'll see what Ineos do in January. If we buy nobody, the season is dead. Automatically, the season is dead. We don't buy anybody in January.
Well, they got
All
to buy
right.
somebody because if they don't buy anybody, they're risking fucking relegation fight. Sorry, boys, I swear on your
Big
show,
up.
but
Yo, Rich, come in if you have the
yeah,
time, bro.
I
We
mean,
have like 15 minutes left. You could come in and close the show, bro. That would be welcome. Welcome to come, bro. I just
you
want
know
to
what I
say that,
mean.
bro.
Sorry,
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, being
Ray,
Nah,
listen,
13
right?
bro. I'm with
is
you,
Let
mad.
me
bro.
tell you, my humble opinion about this team is that, bro, I'm not even stressed about who's starting right now, bro. I cares not. I really don't care. You know what I care about? When Amarim reached the point where he decide this is what we gonna go and this is how my team playing. That's when I go and care about who starts because then he would have an idea of the starting 11 and I would have seen it. Then I would know who the starting 11 the manager picks. And from then on, I could assess now who I like how I like this player performing week in, week
We are,
out, these sorts of things, you know. But for
we
now,
are still
bro,
in
I not trust
preseason.
in none of these players. All of these
We are
players,
still in
bro, for me,
preseason.
yeah, we been off the we broke. We I tell man, bro, and I will say it again. We we wrote off this season when we sacked Ten Hag. So all this talk about top four, bro, my only owners this season, and I keep telling man them win the Europa League. I was never caring about top four because we wrote this season off the moment we sacked Ten Hag, bro.
Oh yes.
If it was anything we did was write this season off. That much I will
Zach,
say.
the moment he stayed, I wrote the season off. And
I know way.
January, listen. If we don't buy anybody in January, I mean, yeah, Harry Potter, try your best. Whatever result you do, you are trying your best at this point
We're not
because
I
you
think he's
got to
doing his
prove
best
some
fixated
at
on
this
magic.
next
point anyway.
season.
I think he's
Not
doing
fixated.
his best anyway. I think the
No,
season
But
is
right
yo,
now,
done.
Rich,
right now he's just rotating to know who fits into a system or not. Come January, if they don't buy him a player, a prolific player, the season is dead. Season is written
I
off
think
automatically.
I
Automatically,
think
February 1st, I'm gonna tweet out the season is dead.
Rich
I
already
think the season is
already
dead.
was given to experiment. But Rich, your thoughts on currently? Because I mean, I don't feel like we are shambles. I just think that
Yeah,
it's part of the process. I mean, I think these things was going to happen. To be fair, so
yeah. To be fair, I think after yesterday, I was just looking at it thinking there's more problems than I realised in terms of everything about the squad. Where it looks bad after a game like Forest because I don't think Forest were great. Let's be honest. I don't think Forest were good.
facts.
We gave away really, really poor goals. I don't think it mattered who we were playing. Like we could have been playing a non-league team. We'd have still shipped like really poor goals. Like Anana for me, that's is just a monumental error. Defending corners seems to be a problem. We just seem to have no physicality in our team. We seem to be disorganized. The basics. These are what concern me. But these are quite basic errors. That then you're looking at our creativity up front. We're struggling to score goals. And how are we going to get anything out of matches if we give away such stupid goals? Like you give away stupid goals. Forest aren't an elite team. Let's be honest. I think Arsenal and Man City played them recently and made them look like the average team they are. And we turn up
Exactly.
we play what for 2 minutes and we're already losing. I was watching it thinking, okay, we got to get back into the game. And you can argue like, okay, Rashford gave away a corner against Arsenal. Bruno gave away the ball to the guy that scored yesterday. But these aren't the players I blame because you look at it and go, look, why can't we defend a corner? Like Arsenal can block people, but we just stand there. We got people that are like 6'4". What are you doing? Use your physicality, use your strength. Don't just stand there and let like Saliba get in your way. Just push him out of the way. What the fuck's going on? It's just a joke,
Bro,
isn't it? Like if I'm playing against my children, I'm more competitive. I'm looking at it thinking, you play for Manchester United. Like what do you want to
It's
actually
also
win the
just
game? What are you doing? You're
Mate,
standing there static.
it's also just zonal
exactly.
marking.
Some of
One thing
them
is
some of
bro,
them didn't even bloody jump, and you're like,
bro,
bloody
zonal
jump.
marking. Killer.
If you want to like
Listen,
cause a
if it,
problem, Arsenal are putting people in the way. Push them out of the way. Make the ref make a
exactly,
decision. Don't just stand there
bro.
and let it happen. Stand up for
I
yourself.
rather
Like
like I tell man, bro. I rather Onana. You see the point when somebody the first goal with Durant Timber head backwards. If Onana had come running to punch, whether he punched Timber or not, I don't care if we get a penalty for
just
that,
run
bro.
through them. Just run through them. Push them out of the way. Make it
Bro,
obvious there's a problem.
this is you in the box. In this last I checked when I grew up, in the 6 yard box was goalkeepers are king. And brother, this man is look like the smallest man in the box during corners, bro. And I don't
Yeah.
understand it for the life
But
of
they
me.
do
He
six
could
foot
jump
four.
with 2 hands. How it is a man jumping 4 feet, 2 feet off the ground and getting to the ball before you as a goalkeeper when you have hands?
Does anybody
I
want to
don't know.
win the ball though? We're just going through the motions, and you're thinking like, where's the people on the pitch like going, look, like fight Arsenal. Don't let Arsenal have like that. Like Arsenal for them, it was easy, and it was embarrassing for us because Arsenal weren't creating anything from open play, but they knew they could bully us on corners. And for me, that was just disappointing. So I used to watch Manchester United when we bullied Arsenal, and we were
Mm,
physical.
Bro, we used to bully everybody, bro. We used to bully everyone. It had nobody we
Exactly.
didn't bully. You know
but
what I
but you know
mean?
what's
Because
crazy
nobody
though, Mark?
nobody could play us off the park. That's one thing in United. When we used to watch United, nobody could play us off the park because we had shit houses, man. We were a skillful, great team,
Yeah,
but
a
we also
combination
had
of
the
both, isn't it?
physicality and everything.
When
Mm.
you need physicality, you have physicality, but you want to use like your finesse or skills to win the game. But physicality has got to be a basic. You can't be bullied by. The Premier League's not a soft league. You can't be. Like, look at the players we got on the pitch yesterday and the last few games. If there's 50-50 tackles, do you see these players like diving in to actually win the ball? Do you see them winning the second balls? These players haven't got the guts to actually fight in the game, and that's a basic problem. If you don't have that, how are you expecting to get anything out of the matches? Because other teams, they've got more fight. Once you haven't got the fight, and this isn't singling out other players, I think this is the problem throughout the whole team. And there's players that I think.
Wait. Should Bruno have come off?
I think taking Bruno off and putting Xerxes on is how's that going to help? Because Xerxes, for me, is out as his depth at the moment. I think we need if we were to recruit players in the short term to improve Manchester United, why don't we look more in the Premier League? We know those people can handle themselves. Like Xerxes, I'm not sure who scouted him. I'm not sure what he did last season. But for me, I don't
It's
even know
Mr.
why he's in
Dan
the team.
Ashworth, aka Mr. Southgate, aka Mr. Crackhead.
I just gonna leave Vegeta to say that because, brother, I told man them this brother is not a goal scorer. I told man them this brother is not that prolific striker that man them was hoping. That 9-10 thing that man was 9.5 hype, blah blah blah. Cool. For me, you know me, Rich. I old school. I want a striker. I want a man who he good at scoring goals. I don't care if he link up well with nobody. But when you give this brother the ball and he back to goal, he going and get me a goal. That is what I want.
Well,
Mark,
audience
do you care how? Did anybody care how Van Nistelrooy linked up the play? No one gives a shit because Van Nistelrooy is a clinical goal scorer.
Man was a goal scorer. Finisher.
I don't care if someone looks good and has a nice first touch on the side of the pitch doing nothing. Get him like if he's gonna be a striker or a 9 or a 10, but gets like 3 goals a season. What is the point in having him in the squad or the team? What is the point?
Yeah, but one thing I'll say about Van Nistelrooy is when Van Nistelrooy was at Manchester United, Van Nistelrooy relieved the pressure of the team. Whenever you played him the ball, it didn't matter who Van Nistelrooy was against. Ruud Van Nistelrooy could be against Sol Campbell. If you play the ball to him, the ball will stick to his chest, stick to his foot, and he can bounce the ball off to Paul Scholes or whoever else, Giggs or whoever is around. And that is why I just don't like the current Manchester United strike force. Our strike force doesn't get into any team in the Premier League. Not only do they not get into any of the top teams in the Premier League, they don't even get onto the bench. We're looking at Wolves and we're like, yeah, we could do with Cunha. We're looking at all these weaker teams. Welbeck. How is Welbeck better than everything we have? How?
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, experience is a big thing for Welbeck too. He been through that, and he came from Man United, bro. So he have a pedigree.
We got rid of Romelu Lukaku, and we said we're getting rid of him because we don't like his first touch. Timberland boots, we were saying.
Bro,
and look at the guys who we got now.
I go and be so real.
They can't even hit a barn door. None of them. Yeah,
bro. Even Ginger Biscuit Legs, Cavani scored goals, bro. These guys are not serious,
bro. We went from having man them. You know, I still don't understand how we didn't renew Cavani contract. I don't understand how men them push out.
I think he was getting injured too much. He was getting injured.
Men push out Ronaldo for the fact that he wasn't pressing, bro. When a man scoring goals, you don't need pressing, king. Just get him the ball. Stop crying about this one and all the balls going to him. He's scoring goals. You understand? And I agree, but like I said, guys, you know, we should have different players. I don't really agree in the PL thing.
I agree to a different aspect.
The proven thing for me is only prove yourself when you have the chance to prove yourself. You can only play what's in front of you. And this is why I like you. I wouldn't denounce Gyökeres. It's the same thing with Haaland. Like Haaland never scored more than 30 goals in a Bundesliga season, league season, not all competitions, in a league season. And his first season in the Premier League, he scored about 40-something goals. You know what I mean? So this is why I wouldn't say things like, you know, only when they come here and they do it in the Premier, we could give it to them that they've done it. Because for me, just like what Ricardo's saying there, I watch different leagues, so I like players. To me, a striker is a striker. Whether he's from Spain, he from China, wherever he's from, he's a striker. If he knows how to do the job and he getting the job done, he will do the job. So at United, I think we are a little bit too focus centric on specific players starting. Because at the end of the day, we want to win cups and titles, and we not just want to win the Premier League. I want to win the Premier League, FA Cup, and the Europa League or Champions League if we're in the competition. So
Exactly.
I want everybody to play maximum 60 minutes. I don't care who play. I don't care for a player to play 90 minutes. That's not proving nothing to me. What proven to me is the moments that you're on the pitch, you do your job, we win the game, the end, move on to the next game. That is what I want to see. So we need a squad. We need to use 6 substitutes, 5 or 6 substitutes every game. I for that. I want that. So I want to have a right winger, a backup right winger, a striker, a backup striker, a left winger, a backup like 10, same thing, number 10, centre backs and all. So whoever is the 5 rotated players every game, they come in, they could do a job. They're just as good as the starters. They're not dropping off. And I live in good. Because you know what? Ahmad can't do it by himself. As good as he is and as the answer that he might be, he cannot do it by himself week in, week out, 67 games for the season. He can't. He's going to fall apart. So we need a backup. Whether it be Anthony, Garnacho, whoever it be, we need a backup.
We're going to end up running him into the ground.
Exactly.
And then when he's injured for like 6-7 months and he becomes injury prone, then what are we going to do?
Blame the manager.
We're not gonna end up running him to the ground. We don't know that yet because so far we've been rotating.
Bro, my brother was injured for 6 months last season. He was 6 months injured last season, and you know what we said? The manager didn't play him. He had him on the bench.
At Manchester United, we've been rotating so far, so we don't know the starting 11 yet.
Exactly. No, we don't know that, but he's saying, the manager said he has a feeling of his best 11. But right now, because of the period that we're in, like the Christmas period, he's scared to stop the rotation. So I believe when we come out of this period, he's going to have a team that he's going to rely on. But the problem is, if the manager feels like he has to rely on Ahmad as an example, and Ahmad is the only one who wants to be consistent, attacking setup, bro, that is going to cause an injury. You look at when he's one-on-one with the players and he's skinning them alive. The next time they're gonna say, "No, you ain't doing me like that," and it's gonna be a dirty slide tackle. How do you think his frame can continuously take horrible tackles? He's not Superman. Eventually, he'll just be out for a long time, and we don't have no backup to what he's doing right now. We don't have any backup. We don't have any adequate backup.
Near the form right now. We do, but we don't. He nowhere near it right now in form wise. I think Ahmad and Anthony might actually complement each other playing as the right wing back. Whoever is the starter or the backup, if Ahmad starts or not, I don't. Whoever starts, whoever is playing better consistently, starts. Ahmad is currently at the helm. We need Anthony to come up because when Ahmad come off the pitch to rest, we need the brother coming on to perform just as good. And they are the closest in profile. Both of them press resistant. They have a similar-ish stylistic of style of setup play on the right. Maybe Ahmad is a little bit more intuitive when he takes on players, maybe not. Whoever. Right? It's not a point of who is the best, it's a point of we need all of them to be at their best so United can improve. You know what I mean? Because realistically, bro, we don't have an unlimited budget. We do have some young talent coming through, but we can't buy everyone. And realistically, we're going to have to hope some players come good. And realistically, hopefully they're not going to be starters while they come good. And hopefully they can actually come good. But if not, we have to be able to move on some players. It's not going to all happen in one window. This is the January window. We have to look at the facts and reality. Like a lot of people talking about Giovanni Quenda. I spoke about him some months ago and people like who he was. No one knew who he was. Now, the 17-year-old youngster, we planning to make a raid for him in Sporting, but it cannot happen before the summer. I see some people talking about him in January. He's 17 on a professional contract. The Premier League doesn't allow for these things. You cannot sign a young player under 18 on a professional contract who's already on a professional contract. He can't be signed to the academy.
He's not 18 until next year, April.
In March. So, March 30th. So, it's one of those things where, what's the alternative to Quenda? We have in the academy, there's young Ethan Williams. He plays the right wing back as well. He can play left wing back as well. So there's options. So what can we do to mitigate circumstances to the summer?
We're not promoting no kids.
Bro, he's 17.
Nah. We going out there to buy some players.
With what money?
They just
Bro, we have
yeah,
FFP problems, bro. Like, realistically,
I
this is
told I
January.
told
Have
you
we ever spent 200 million in
I will
January?
I'll
No.
let you know February 1st if we buy a player or not.
Cool.
Because they have to buy a player in January. Or they're
I
gonna
think
kill
they have
or
to
they're
as
gonna kill
well.
Amarin already.
I think the only option is a experience of sort striker, but who it's going to
So you
be.
can't be
Like I did.
promoting these youths with these useless senior in our
It's hard
team
to get
without
good players in
uploading
January
useless
though.
senior.
Hmm?
Like I
It's
see a
always
player
tough
like
to get.
Radford, God gets sold in. Like I see a player like one of these senior players needs to get sold in January. They
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
get sold in January.
100, 100%.
I'm
You
not.
got you got to
I
dump
don't
one.
tell me all this summer. No, we are using every single window we can. January, we
How?
want the senior
No, you
player.
see,
If
I
you sell
agree
Bruno
with you,
Fernandez, I'm
Omo.
clapping.
I agree with you, Omo. But looking at the history of Man United and what we've done in January windows,
I,
it's not
I,
a window where we're going big. No, so looking at the players
I
and
deny that.
possibilities, we either had to sell big to bring in big, right?
I
So
deny that.
realistically, we're looking at a signing like a Omar Mamouche, because I think we need a senior striker. I think we need a striker who could come in and start week in, week out, that we could
If Omar
depend on.
Mamouche, he's a good player, good dead ball specialist, but you have somebody that pull ranks on this team. Listen, I deny that we can buy somebody January, and El Capito has to go. He has to be a
Why?
statement
What?
selling.
Why do you look at him as the biggest problem? I'm not even saying that he shouldn't go eventually, but he's not the biggest problem in the Man United team.
Yes, he
He
is.
he's
To
not.
me, he is. So
Okay, fair enough.
don't no. Can I change my mind? To me, he's the biggest problem. El
I'm not
Capito
trying
has
to
to
change your
go.
mind. I'm not trying to. I'm just like obviously if you feel
Me
like that, you feel like
personally,
that.
Bruno and Rashford. Come
Somebody's
on.
gonna say Rashford. Somebody's gonna say different players. For me, it's El
Both,
Capito.
Cool.
number 7, number 10, and number 8 in the summer. They need to free up those shits. All of them.
For me, I think we ran Bruno into the ground. I think when he first came to this club, nobody was saying, "Oh, he's a problem. He's a problem. He's a problem." I think what's happening is he saved us so many times, and now he's captain. He's just going through that format as people will do, and we ran him to the ground because we've not built around Bruno. You see, if you build around Bruno, he's one of the best players in your team. But we've relied on Bruno so much when we've been absolutely rubbish. Now that he's lost his form, everyone's singling him out. But we've run him to the ground. He's
100.
obviously because we don't sub him, we don't give him games off because there ain't nobody else can create. It's rubbish. Because
Didn't Bruno score? Didn't
when
Bruno
Bruno
score
came
4
off,
goals for Van
our
Nistelrooy?
our 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 creation went, and when he's on the bench, we got nobody. So it's
So
not
Bruno,
it's not the player.
so
I'm
Bruno
not
should have
blaming
come
Bruno.
on versus
I'm not
France.
blaming Bruno. Man, I'm not blaming
It's not a
Bruno
blaming
now
Bruno thing.
because
You know what the problem is? This is what I say. We see what I said in the beginning. We have to form our statements properly. We said everybody can get it. The moment we say start naming people's names, now it's like but not this guy. Why not? Because currently, personally, this whole squad, currently, most of them are not performing. Nobody should be untouchable, right? Current. I don't care what you did 10 years ago. I'm happy for you. You know, the history books are there. But right now, you are bringing depression to my life. And because of that, and if we're going to be saying that some of these people who've seen multiple managers must go, well, last time I checked, this guy also had multiple managers and he's not doing something for us right now in this present time. So that's what I'm saying. For me, I don't really care. It's not like an order of dislike or whatever. I'm just saying so for me to see seriousness, because they can get rid of Dan Ashworth, which is where we started this whole topic. That's fine. If you want to show me that you are ruthless, these 3 players who are not living up to expectation as our senior players right now, put them up so that the other people behind them can realize that we're serious. That's all it is.
Get
You're sending a message.
get rid of the
To me, that's
fades.
a quicker way of like where are we now? 13th.
Yes.
So that's a quicker way of going to like 15th and 16th if you start
Do it.
doing things like that. My
Yes.
my
Do
idea
it.
of improving, right, is to like so let's say Bruno, we as an example, we know that Bruno is a good player on his day. And if Bruno's not performing, why don't we bring someone in that is better than Bruno? So Bruno is now looking at it as, oh, I might not get into the starting lineup if I don't buck up my ideas. And I can see Bruno as a person who would try to force his way into the team. It's not a given. We don't have anyone better than Bruno. We don't have anyone better than Rashford. We don't have anyone better than these players. But the problem that I have with our football club and the fan base is any time we're linked to a player that is better than the player in that current position, we start saying, we don't want to get this man because of development. All this using Man United as a creche. When did we start doing this? And when did it become the standard practice to use Manchester United Football Club, one of the biggest clubs in the world, as a creche? Do Real Madrid operate a creche? Do they operate a creche?
Some people would say we're a retirement home.
This is why I say get rid of Bruno Fernandes. And this is why I like to mention Bruno Fernandes, because when I mention Bruno Fernandes, people want to defend him. People are quicker to defend Bruno Fernandes than Marcus Rashford.
Nobody defending Bruno. We're saying
him,
get
right?
somebody in.
If we're talking about,
we gotta get somebody. We're not just gonna sell him and just leave it blank.
What I'm saying is get somebody better than him to play over him.
Somebody better than them.
Why weaken the team? Get somebody that's better than him to play over him.
Can't see us talking, but I'm agreeing with that.
Bruno must leave.
That's all. Let Rich.
Okay, but that's because you hate this thing. Like a different thing.
Rich, go ahead, Rich.
Like, can I talk? Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, they're all the problem, apparently, according to everybody, the same way that Pogba and David De Gea, Maguire, they're all the problem. The thing is, you don't improve Manchester United by getting rid of Bruno and bringing in one new player. You improve Manchester United by bringing in competition in every place.
Exactly.
Like Mark made a good point. You don't have Højlund as the only striker at Manchester United. Come on, how old is he? And he's Manchester United's only striker. That's the joke. And this is how the squad has been built over the last few years. You don't improve it in one transfer window. You don't improve it by signing one or two players. You improve it across the board. Look at Manchester United's squad now. The oldest players, the players you're expecting to be the leaders of the squad, most of them are past their best now because we haven't improved the squad and we haven't built the squad in the right way for years. We've got players that are going to have to leave because they're not good enough. They're the players that should be. What we should do in an ideal world is have the most experienced, the older players at the club should have been players like Evans like 5 years ago or Cavani like 5 years before we bought him. These players that, approaching the peak of their career or just over it, but have still got a lot of experience. We've got players now that, like Evans, what is he, 36? He could still come into the club and into a match and be not the worst player on the pitch and be one of the better ones. That's an embarrassment for Manchester United. Nothing against Evans, but that's an embarrassment for the club. And if you get rid of Rashford, you get rid of Bruno and bring in two other people, what do you have? You have the same amount of depth in your squad. You still have the same issues. I think I don't know if Mainoo's going to work out or Garnacho's going to work out, but moving them on and bringing one player in, what does that achieve? You need to bring in competition for those players. You need to you need to get rid of the worst players in your squad and replace them, not replace some of the better players in your squad. And for me, you look at some of the players that are probably passengers, don't even play. They need to be replaced. And you need to bring in competition for Bruno, competition for Rashford, and ultimately one of those players might get sold. You then need to replace them at least with someone that's good, because I could quite easily see Bruno and Rashford leaving and Manchester United replacing them with two worst players, because that's what we've done over the last few years.
That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do.
Wait a minute. I have a question. Anybody can answer. What in this Armour beautiful system where we have some data on, does Bruno fit into this Armour system?
Definitely does.
Definitely, yes.
Okay.
If you look at Amorim system, right, and you watch
Mark, no need to explain. You already answered. I don't need an explanation. You've answered. I'm not going back and forth. You've answered. That's okay.
He is Pedro Gonçalves, and he's the other guy that's playing next to Morten Hjulman. You know, the A2 is playing next to Morten Hjulman.
That's Morita, and I forgot the other one, Brian Xhaka. But okay, that's it. I understand it now.
You still have to take time, bro. Like, the Amorim system is beautiful. It will eventually prove to be fruitful. I think so. But literally, we don't have all the right tools. And a team is not just made of ballers. You know what I mean? It don't just have all the guys who want balls into feet and who good on the ball. It have guys who good at running, who good at dribbling, who good at this, who good at that. And I think we need to be patient. I think we need to be patient, bro. Whether or not we see different things, I think
Mark, you're correct. Because this team was
finalizing it
built
in
for
the
Eric
sense
Ten
that
Hag.
this is a bit too soon. Forget Ten Hag, bro. He done get
No,
sacked long time.
I'm saying the squad, the recruitment, the scouting was
Forget
for Eric
all
Ten
of
Hag.
that, because before Ten Hag gets sacked, the structure took over was buying structure base. We all said that this summer, bro. So let me not revisit
and
the
then you look at
past.
the
We know Amarim don't have his
Because
particular players per
this last
se.
window is
We
not
know
good
he
enough.
didn't buy any room. We're not making none of those excuses and not
No,
blaming Amarim for
we're not
nothing
doing
like
that.
that.
I'm just saying this last
We
window wasn't
agreed.
good
We
enough.
agree on that. That is overall understood. Amarim has
Oh,
not
so
had the
what?
chance to bring in
You guys
players
are
that he
saying
would
that the
want into
window
the
is not
squad.
good? Are you guys
So
saying the window wasn't good?
Wait,
I
hold on.
think the window was
No,
good.
So
I
the
don't know why
late
men
Euro,
arguing
they're
now.
not good enough.
No, hold
Bro,
on.
this is weird. That's the weird statement we're trying to stop him from making.
I said
Because
almost
no, hold on,
said,
because I feel like you're moving a
let
little
me
bit too
repeat myself.
finite. You
I
can't
almost
say it like that,
said this
bro.
window is not good enough.
Bro, the window was
Said this
good.
window is not
It
good
could
enough.
be better. There's very rare chances in
Who
a
else
window where
agrees
you
with
buy
that?
5 players and 3 of those
I don't.
players are
I don't.
I mean, I'm not
the
gonna.
best players in your squad over the season, bro. It's
I
very
don't.
rare that these
I
things happen. So
I'm not gonna say
I
the window wasn't bad because it was good
big up Danny
in
B.
certain
Start,
ends.
isn't
Really,
it?
you
I'll
got
say
man's
with a window. If you're going to
yeah.
sign, say, 5 players, let's say that we've got Yoro, Agate, Mazraoui, Xerxes, has anyone I've forgotten? Delit. Okay, so you got 5 players. Then if 3 of them work out, that's a good window. The thing is, you need to have lots of these sort of windows where if you sign like 10 players and 3 don't work out, that's not unusual. So for me, Xerxes might not work out. That's my assessment so far. But if Agate works out, Yoro looks like a really good signing. Delit could be like basically a younger
Mazraoui's
version of
already
Maguire. I
signed in
think
the
he could be a
summer.
useful squad player. But we're working towards getting the age of our squad down, which is a good thing. The thing is, you need to have like 3 or 4 of these windows, and maybe January is one where you get like a free agent. You get like you got to try and do some deals. Certainly in January, you can't let the window
100%.
pass. You got to try and do something, but you don't buy the elite players in January because any squad, any team that's got these players, they want them for the rest of the season, and people don't tend to move that sort of big players on in January. But I think what you got to do is have another window like this over the summer. People like whoever's left, like obviously Ashworth's gone, but Barada, these guys, they need to work out what they want to do in the summer, do it again in the summer, move on some of the older players, and it's going to take time. But I think it went in the right direction. Yoro looks like a good signing. Delit is, I'm not saying he's suddenly like made our team, our squad a lot better, but I think he's a younger version of some players that we are looking at moving on. I think certainly we've got to look at whether, like, does Garnacho, does Mainu, do these players actually fit the team? Because I think there's a danger last season, and I'll say this point: last season, Manchester United, for most of the matches, I thought we were really poor as how we played as a team. And I think there's a danger where you look at Garnacho, Mainu, Dallo, say those 3 players maybe as examples. They were probably some of our best players last season, but we were playing really badly. So I think there's a danger that you kind of overhype and over rely on some of these players. I don't know if Mainu is going to be ultimately good enough. He looked very good last season, but I think there's a lot of pressure now if he's going to be playing in midfield too with Agate. I think there's pressure on Garnacho as well because
I
I think
don't
he
think
got
he's
overplayed.
suited to that role. I don't, because my issue with Mainu is every time he loses the ball, he's just jogging back, and that's not what the manager
I don't
wants.
know if he's physical enough.
The manager wants sprinting back. He doesn't want jogging. Yeah, and that's what Mainu seems to be doing, and he's been doing this from even last season. So I don't know what he's gonna do. But if he's not playing in that 10 role, I'm just looking at him as a bit of a liability playing next to Ugarte. I just don't think that role makes
Well,
I
sense
think
for
we
I
him.
might
mean,
need
that's the
another
role that he accustomed playing all his
Mino is
career.
better than Sandro, right?
He was always a 6. He's never played as a 10 for Manchester United, even in the
In the
academy.
Mark in the academy.
In the
But
academy, the only time he played in an attacking role was under 9. Under 9, my brother. Not even under
Okay,
14, not under 15, not under 16, not under 17, not under 20.
okay.
So let me start right there and stop it. Don't come and predict any madness. I've been watching Mainu for years. When I talk about Mainu, my name, they know who he was. Right?
Oh, okay,
Just want you to know. And I just want to
okay.
say this. Like, I don't not see him playing in the 10 role, but I just want to put it out there that he is really a hybrid 6'8". Of course, I think maybe because of his injury, the muscle injury he had in the last few weeks ago, he's not yet at that peak fitness to run back. I'm not going to stress on it. I've seen it. I've seen it happen in a few games. Maybe that's why in some situation other players were making mistakes like Casemiro because they had to cover for this issue. But these things happen. He's a young player. He still has to develop. Of course, he has bags of talent, but this is what I'm saying. Some of these young players, I don't like to use examples of them making mistakes because in one way, I'm not going to moan about it, and in two ways, they're young, so we're supposed to expect them to make some mistakes at some point,
But as
right?
a youngster, you should be bringing, at bare minimum, even if you haven't got the technical fluring, you should be bringing your energy and your youth. Like the
True,
guy,
I
don't get me
agree.
wrong, he's got all the talent in the world. He's probably, technically, in my opinion, he's up there with our best midfielders. Some of the stuff that he can do on the ball, crazy. It will drive you wild. Yeah. However, his work rate off the ball, suspect. Suspect. Yeah. That is one of my only gripes with him, yeah. He could
My gripe
actually lock
too.
down that position if he had the work rate off the ball, but he don't.
This is why, as one of the guys they would hear me talking about a lot is Dan Gore Jr. Now, Dan Gore Jr. might not have the tech that everybody see in Menu, but you see that hunger, that desire, that engine that you're talking about, that ferociousness to track back and tackle, he has all of those things. He has a
But
very good passing range as well. Huh?
didn't Dan go play with Kobe Minor, right?
Yes, he played. This is what I'm going to talk about. This. Calm down. Why does be trying to cut to take all the
I
shine,
see.
bro? This is the
Because
dynamic duo for the midfield, in my
Mark, you're
opinion.
telling me 1 + 1 is 2.
I'm
You're
telling
telling
you
me
one.
one
I'm
plus
telling
one
you
is
two
two.
by
I'm
two
telling you
is
two
is
times
eight,
one is
bro. Two
two.
by two is eight. This is what I'm telling you right now because we want to double make Monu twice the player he is when they bring Dan Gore Jr. into that midfield next to him, bro. You understand? This is what we're talking about.
Who
Now
you
we
gonna take
have
up that
lots of
midfield?
potential. This is why I'm not hyping on purchasing. I know we need to bring in some players, but we also could promote some youngsters. This is a trial process, guys. We still are work in progress. We're not the finished article. This is Amarim first season, and my belief is that we wrote this season off when we brought Amarim in because we are going to give him this year to chop and change the team and mold the team and practice with a system that will be going forward. So I expect up and downs. Now, it's not the ideal situation. Of course, we are Man United. We shouldn't be in this position, but this is where we are in this current moment. So
One thing
I
I'll
know
say is don't get fooled about that FFP. No, that even though it's a thing, it's also nonsense because in the last window, I kept on hearing, "Oh, Man United ain't got no money. Man United ain't got no money." They spent almost 200 mil. Not only did
actually,
they almost spend 200 mil, they were still trying to sign Brentford into that, and it's only
yeah,
because of the pricing. That's why they didn't even buy him. And they're talking about getting a left-sided fullback or wingback or whatever in January. So that tells me that they've still got money. So all this FFP talk, come the summer, I wouldn't be surprised if they spend another 200 mil. I just
nah,
hope that the
Definitely would.
direction that they're going in a direction of players that have the work rate and stuff like that, because you can't have manager after manager after manager saying, these guys just ain't got the work rate. We can't
exactly,
keep on having manager after manager complaining about the fitness of the team.
hundred
Exactly.
percent.
But also, can I just say, as controversial as this sounds, we also still need to let these new guys work, bro, because we just watched 11 years, 10 years of the other guys doing nonsense, from nonsense to nonsense, and then these guys must come in now and wave their bell, their ones like their Tinker Bell or something, and everything must be fixed. So these things, like when people say sell everybody, I'm like, guys, come on, everybody. Like some people expected everybody to go in the summer. I'm like, guys, come on, really? You're setting
I
yourself up for
think
disappointment.
this is why when people say these players, I'm like, bro, it's only like 2 of them. It's only 2 of them that play. How about the rest? Like the recruitment needs work. Our scouting and recruitment needs work. They need to go get players that fit our system. Don't go buy no random player because it's free or because it's cheap. It will not work. Get players that fit into the system like a glue. Like you buy the
Yeah,
players, boom, they're automatic starter. Don't buy no player that like, oh, questionable, go on the bench,
no,
is
I
not
agree,
ready yet.
and that's no, I agree. That's what I'm
So
saying. The proof is in the pudding. Let these guys work, bro. We can't just say after one summer that the world is ending. And also in the context of the summer, by the way, if we look at last season, what was the biggest thing that we were all griping about? The fact that we had no bloody centre back line, no fullbacks, and this is what was majority of what we bought this season to address that problem. So when people say this is not a good win, what are you talking about? That was the biggest problem we had last season. Yes, we didn't resolve everything, but really, did you expect 11 new people to walk into the club? I mean, like I just sometimes as fans also ask, guys, this is not FIFA, with all due respect. This is not Football Manager where you can open up a budget and say, we're gonna. When somebody said 1 billion, I said, come on, are you serious? What, from where? From where?
this is why I say we must sell in January. We must buy in this coming January window. Because if you're not, you're wasting armor and time. You are wasting armor and time. Because first of all, you didn't get him when after ETH won the FA Cup. You didn't get him. You got him in the middle of the season, and now your
Which is
profile
stupid.
players that you got, I'm not even sure if that for armor or not. Because you don't
But if
that
we didn't get
recruiting.
out, if we had not kept Ten Hag at the time that we kept him, we wouldn't have got Almarin. We would have got the England manager. What's his name?
Southgate.
Tuchel.
South, bro.
We would have either got Tuchel or we
Or
would have got
Southgate.
Thomas Frank.
Probably
We
one of
wouldn't have
them.
got
Southgate.
Almarin.
Man, was pushing
Reality
for
is,
Southgate,
guys.
Either way, if they've done if they would got those players, they've done their due diligence and know like this Danny Ashworth is moving like Danny Phantom, they will realize, yo, this man is against us. They say we're Bruno
Yeah,
Fernandes is the enemy of
because he
build up.
wanted to get
If they
my
would
man
know,
from England. He
but if
wanted
they
to
would
get
know,
what's his name again? Southgate. He wanted to get Southgate.
so why didn't we get Southgate then?
Because
Well,
they didn't
probably
want
because
him.
the
Brother,
club
say
told him
no.
you
Okay,
can't bring in Southgate.
so they did do the due diligence to get Ruben Amorim. That's what I'm saying. Listen, we all come full circle in that Ruben Amorim was the right appointment. It's just that it took too long. It took too long, and the windows are washed. Because again, the recruitment doesn't fit Ruben Amorim.
I
It
wouldn't
And
doesn't.
that's
say it
why
You
and
doesn't
that's why
cannot
fit,
you
say
will
it
suffer.
but
does.
what I would say
That's why
is
we will suffer
this. We
until the
have to
windows.
suffer, bro, because this reality is we have to at some point we have to stick with our manager through a squad rebuild. We can't be rebuilding our squad and sack our manager in the middle because then it's a problem for the next manager to come in. It's been a problem. Ten Hag faced our worst problem when he came in as manager. Just very established that one time,
That's why I
right?
tell the
So
brother that the season is
Amarim
finished, man.
has to get time to do his thing. He needs time. Of course, the sacking of Dan Ashworth might delay some things or it might speed up some things. You never know. The guy who coming in or who taking up the role to replace him might do a better job. And
If
and,
I'm
and
if
in that
Amorim,
regards, huh?
I say
Controversial
if
take,
Amorim
yeah.
focus on, go on.
Controversial take, yeah. But we have the summer will tell me whether Almarin will get sacked or not. The next summer, in terms of who they go and bring in, that will tell me whether he's getting sacked or not. Because
Summer,
this club, yeah, I believe if they don't go, because we can't have 5 or 6 managers complaining about physicality. Yeah, if they buy players and spend the best part of 200 mil in the summer and they don't address the key problems that the manager is talking about, oh, he's getting sacked. He's getting
Yeah,
sacked.
100.
you're talking
oh yeah,
about
100.
summer.
100.
I'm talking about I went to January and it's the simple thing like this year I don't want no trophy. Focus on your style of play.
Boss, guys, the countdown is now. I'm going to be so controversial. Yeah, with Amarin, the countdown is now for him to because if they don't do something, he's gone. He's gone in 2 years, and the countdown starts now. So they got to be looking in January and say, okay, we'll get you who fit. Summer, we'll get you who fit, and you're gonna go. I said I wasn't jumping in balls when Amon came in November because I said, well, what are you bringing this guy in now for when you've already set the tone for another manager? You Everything that we do now is a write off because this manager hasn't had a pre-season, and you're throwing him in the games against Arsenal, and you're throwing him against games against Nottingham Forest and Manchester City and all these teams who are established, and you're thinking, you're hoping for a miracle. The miracle is never going to happen. So that's why we've got to say I've written the season off as a fan, and I'm saying I'm in windows, get a pre-season in, and when everybody's on 0 points, then I'm saying, okay, let's see who fits here, who fits there, because at the moment, Amrin's a dead duck. Because what can he do? It's not his team.
Bro, not much he could do right now with
I'm
how
not gonna
things
lie
set.
to you. He's only gonna get this season. Yeah, he's gonna get this season as a free hit. But next season, if we're not seeing something different, it's not me that's going to say the manager out. It's Ineos. They sacked Dan Ashworth, who has supposedly come in to plan the long-term future of the club and make this appointment and that appointment. They've sacked him ruthlessly. They've sacked him. Yeah. They don't like some aspects of how he's done his job. So don't be surprised if they invest 200 mil as an example and they're looking at Ruben Amorim and they're like, nah, bro, you had last season to get your style of play cracking. Now you're saying, oh, yeah, we brought in another 5 or 6 players, and now you're saying you still need more. Nah, you're gone. You're like, if the beginning of the season starts bad, like Ten Hag, then don't be surprised if by November they're telling him get lost. Don't be surprised.
Bro,
Bro, you're 100% correct. As I'm saying
this
right now,
is
yeah. This is how these boys are acting. You could see how they act. I've seen how they act now, and I've got a bit of understanding how Ineos act. The countdown is starting
no,
soon now, and
no, stop.
n- listen, it's
Mo-
starting now because if come this time next year and Amrin hasn't got a style, and we're 13th, the man's gone. He's gone. I'm telling you that now. He's gone.
I hope not, but Rich, what you saying, bro? Wait, boys, give us some of your final thoughts now, because you know I don't think it's a bad situation. I don't think we're in a shambles. I mean, I feel like we're in a work in progress. So things will happen going
I think with
throughout
the
the
Ashworth
season.
thing, maybe it's a personality thing. I don't know because we don't know the full story. It seems quite quick, but maybe that's the thing with Ineos. They are making decisions quicker than Manchester United used to in the past, and that might be a good thing
That's
for
good.
me.
I
So that might
think
be a
so
good
as
thing.
well,
I'm,
bro.
I'm thinking that they seem to be quite aggressive in the transfer market. They seem to actually do better in the transfer deals as well in terms of numbers, players in, players out. I think it's going to be a big maybe not a big January, but a big summer. And I think obviously there's going to be a lot of expectations on Amrin next season if the squad changes a lot. But it's a difficult job, isn't it? Because looking at this, to try and transform the squad, I think you've got to take a short-term hit because probably got to move on players that might be useful in the short term. But in terms of the long term, you've got to look to get in a younger squad. So I don't know. I'm not quite as optimistic as you are, Mark, but I think long term, as in like a few years down the line, I think they're making decisions that will be good in terms of improving like the youth, getting more players signed specifically to go in the youth and then to going straight into the first team, younger squad. I think the squad's been so mismanaged for so long that it's just going to take a long time, and I think that's annoying, but it's just the way it is. And all these transfers, everyone's going to be scrutinising every single one, thinking no, they've got the elite team choosing transfers. Everyone's got to work out, and as soon as the player doesn't work out, but it's a bit of a guess, isn't it? Like you can guess players in different Premier League teams. It's less risky, but still, it's a step up in pressure and expectation when you join Manchester United. No one knows how it's going to work out. We'll probably sign like a lot of players, and there will be some that will be disasters, but hopefully they're not going to be 90 million pound disasters. They're going to be 25 million, 30. So it's not going to be as bad.
Yeah, I get that. No, sorry about my laughing there. You know, if you don't know, I've watched out post something talking about me, the sources fabrication and Romano, and also me. So, you know, it's a alter ego business going on. But you know what I mean? Big up to Box for that one. Big up to you, Rich, for coming in and with your having your say
No
as well,
worries.
bro. Big up to everyone for coming in. Guys, Vegeta. Any last thoughts on what you're looking forward to coming up? Because at the end of the day, I know, what I mean, whether your opinion is Dan Ashworth or not Dan Ashworth, United is at the end of the day what we want, where we want to come back. We want to be back to where we belong at the top. And for me, I'm optimistic about this. I never actually thought Dan Ashworth was the guy. So I always thought that we would have gotten someone else when they realized that he was not that, what they said. So, what do you think, bro? Like, any final thoughts?
No, Mark, I agree with you, bro. For me, that like at the end of the game, I think he's Manchester United. That's why for the life of me, I don't care who gets sold or who. Yes, maybe there needs to be a strategic way to do these things, but when these things happen, I have to believe that it's for the betterment of the club, in my opinion. And I can't. What is the alternative? Do I stop supporting Man United now because of these decisions? I can't, bro. I'm a fan. I can't do that. So at the end of the day, bro, I'm gonna keep supporting this club. That we all say win, lose, or draw, right? That's where
Mm-hmm.
I'm at with this thing. But when it comes back to the main story with Dan Ashworth, like you, I never thought he was the guy, but I was told he was. So I said I'll wait and see. Hopefully, we actually get the guy this time because, hey, I don't want to hear Southgate ever again anywhere near
Bro.
this club.
Exactly.
Any last words from you, Ray?
Yeah, well, on the down Ashwood, yeah. I mean, what I'm hearing about him vouching for certain guys, yeah, I don't think he understood what Manchester United was about. I think he was trying to get his mates in there like Southgate, and yeah, I think he needs to go. I'm just hoping that Ineos just gets it right. Ineos just says, okay, you want the guy because the guys in the suits can change, but they also need to look at the bigger picture on the field as well. So whoever it is, work together and just try and improve. And on the last thoughts for the season, as says for me, as long as we're not in a relegation fight, I could take these kind of bad results and bad performances until Amrin gets who he has to get, and we soldier on when everybody's on 0 points. That's my last
Good.
thoughts. Cheers.
Big up, bro. Bali Tech. What you saying,
Yo,
buddy?
yeah, I'm good, man. I just hope that whoever they get to replace Dan Ashworth is a guy on the level. My preference would be the guy who's like literally he's just signed for City, but he hasn't worked a day yet. So if we can just nick the guy who they signed from Sporting that hasn't worked any days at City yet, then that would be a coup because at least we have somebody who can directly work with the manager, the same guy that's responsible for signing Diamonde and all these types of players that they have. That's who we would need to help this manager or somebody on that sort of level. Because right now, I just look at the club hanging the manager out to dry if they don't get the right men in. And I do fear for the guy because I think his system is actually quite good. His system, like the more I study his system, the more I know that we could literally turn into a lethal weapon in the Premier League. But you need the right players. You need the right players for the manager. You just can't tell the manager, okay, yeah, turn Casemiro and Rashford into world beaters. You can't polish a turd and make the turd look like a bar of gold. You can't,
Facts.
unfortunately.
Facts.
So hopefully we can address those situations. I don't know what this means, like sacking Dan Ashworth. I don't know what it means for like the January transfer window. If we're gonna go for the targets that we were gonna go for, or if we're gonna pivot and say, everything that he was doing is crap. Let's go in another direction. I don't know, but I'm kind of worried now because I don't know what the club's doing now. Honestly, I don't. But I'm not gonna say that the sacking was a bad thing. It's just, the sacking was wrong. It's just the timing of the sacking is a bit mad.
100%.
And then also because January is literally round the corner, they could use that as an excuse to say, "Oh, we're not going to do no business now because we need to sort out Dan Ashworth's replacement." And if they do that, then that is effery. I'm not going to lie, that is effery because we're persisting with Diogo Dalot as a left wing back. Yeah, the guy has been playing crap for the previous regime. So his form hasn't changed even though there's a new manager, his form has not changed. His form is crap. For whatever reason, it's almost like because I think Ten Hag did play Mazraoui as a left fullback a couple of times, and he was actually looking good there. So Mazraoui's that guy. Well, wherever you decide to play him, you're gonna get at least minimum 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 there, right? But for whatever reason, Amarin hasn't said, you know what, Delo, you're a bit shocking as left wing back. Let me put you as a right wing back, or just bench you for a little while and play Mazraoui there. But they're refusing to do this. So we need to go into the market and buy somebody. I'm begging them, but we'll see what they do.
100%. 100%, my bro. Big up to you. Big up to Ray Carl for coming in today. Big up to Rich for coming in. Bro, thanks so much for joining this stream. I know it was impromptu, but you know you're welcome on the channel anytime, bro. Just wanted to let you know that. Big up to you.
Cheers.
Omo,
I just thought I don't want to moan too much, but I thought I'll just come in and moan anyway.
bro, you could come in and
It's
moan
been that sort of
anytime you
day.
want, bro.
Yes.
It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. I've been moaning all the time, bro. I've been moaning all the time, especially yesterday, bro. I went to Netherlands to do something, to check out some things, you know what I mean? And come back home to this result, and I watching at these stats, and I watching at the scoreline, and I'm like, how? You know what I mean?
We're just
I'm
watching
not
it and just
surprised.
thinking, what is going on? Like, what is going on?
Bro, this
I'm
is
not, I'm
midweek.
not surprised.
This is midweek, guys. We have Victoria Pilsen. I believe it's on Wednesday. You know, we play in the Czech Republic. So it's going to be an interesting one. Tune in for that. Of course, you know, with the regular build-up shows and whatnot, guys. You know, tonight will also be bragging rights. We will have to be doing the Man United show where we will be taking some punches because of our poor performances this weekend. But you know what it is, guys. You know, there's a lot happened. Olmo will be back later for bragging rights. Of course, we know how Olmo feels about the current situation. We've heard from Rich, we've heard from Ray Carl, we've heard from Bali Tech, we've heard from Rickamank and all the other guys who came in and had their say. And guys, what I would say to you, be a little bit patient. You know, I know it's not working out the way we wanted it to be. It's not the best situation. We can improve. We will improve. You know, of course, the January transfer window is on the way around the corner. So maybe a few players going out, a few players coming in. It might be a possibility. You know, we'll be bringing you updates for the transfer market every week live on the channel at midday. So guys, stay tuned for that information. But for now, guys, it is what it is. Dan Ashworth has been sacked. Of course, you know, there are talks that, you know, Jason Wilcox and Christian Vavell will be taking an upshift into higher positions to replace him. So maybe it looks like Jason Wilcox will be the new DOF acting, and possibly Christian Vavell will be acting in the role of sporting director. Let's see how it goes. You know, hopefully it bodes well for the future of Manchester United, because realistically, these are things that impact going down the line into the future, and currently on the pitch is where our focus should be, and we need very much to improve in that situation. Rich, thanks for joining me, bro. I hope you have
No,
a
Mark,
great evening. If
speak
you have a
soon.
stream later on, you know, you could always just drop me the link. I will pop through. I like to come in and talk to your channel. I watch all your streams. As you know, I'm always in the comments. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to Ricardo Pereira, guys. Cheers to you for coming in all the way from Portugal. Big up to Hayden Pro. Big up to Danny B as well. Big up to Box and Craig Millington. Glazers all over again. If they don't go into January transfer window to get rid of the Deadwood, players include Rashford, Shaw, Bruno, and bring in proper players. Well, you already know what it is. Guys, hope you have a great one. Big up to you, Rich, and big up to everyone in the comments. Hope you have a great evening. Big up to Stephanie Griffith as well. Big up to Jack Reacher. Big up to Lucky Singh. Big up to you, Danny B, as well. Big up to Halftime with Vegeta as well for coming in. Thank you for being on the panel today, my bro. Big up to you. Big up to United TV as well. Big up to Stephanie Griffith in the comments. And guys, do have a great evening. I know you're probably going to be frustrated and you think it's all over, but guys, never fear. Sometimes with progress, uncertainty brings more prosperity than it brings negativity. That's just the way I feel about it. Optimism overall. Big up to you guys. Catch you guys later. It's been your boy Mark and MUFC fan. Like, share, and subscribe.